Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a new guest with us. And this is second take, which is why you see all the awkward laughter. My name is Shahrukh. This is Samir Alam. We are your regular Cactus dudes. And we have with us a new prick today called Zaryab Khan. Zaryab is an actor. He's a producer. He is a musician. He also knows how to do really good poetry.
He's a writer as well.
And he's a rapper.
He's a writer as well.
He's a writer as well.
Stage writer.
And Zaryab does not live in defense.
Gulshan.
I hope you're seeing this, Mama. I hope I'm making you proud.
I think your mama's there. So I think by virtue of our guest, आज decide हो गया है कि most talk will be musical. We don't mind topics around that as well, but I think
Zaryab has a lot of similar interests. You guys realize he's also an actor. He's also a fucking writer. He's also a poet. So I was like, fuck, bro. I didn't know that.
But basically, it's always good to surround yourself with like-minded people, man. It's the most important thing, and I'm glad that I met you guys. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. We can curse, right?
We
can. I've seen the video.
In last episode, and I'm not sure if we have uploaded that by the time we are seeing this.
But in last episode,
just open mic की मैं बात कर रहा था जहाँ लाइव graffiti हुई थी वो इसके घर पे था.
Yeah, that was my place.
In the future, we have a lot of similar things planned at his rooftop, including goon sessions. And there's a bit of collaboration back and forth.
Hey, I didn't know that. This is news to me also.
Because he doesn't work for us anymore, right? So we don't keep him in the loop.
Oh, man.
That's just how shit goes. But guys, coming to conversation for the day.
Yeah, see, it's not just me. It's not just
us talking about it, right?
No,
it's okay.
I think
we'll keep you in the loop.
Yeah, उसको लगता है ऐसे comedy अच्छी होती है इसकी. मैं बोला ना, everybody should just take like ये लोग comedy करते हुए अच्छे लगते हैं. हम लोग ऐसे पीछे एडिटिंग करते हुए अच्छे लगते हैं. हम दो चार बात करते हैं तो.
Oh my god.
Just मैंने कभी पीछे DOP बना है वो. Full frame set कर रहा है. For audio listeners behind the camera, Abdullah Quresh is trying to assume my role and kick me out.
Why are you looking down while you're saying that?
I don't know, I just have that.
Audio listeners aren't in the floor.
Your mic is there, boss. It's not even there.
Okay, cut it! No, but...
oh god.
On that one, actually, I need to talk to Zaryab. How do you actually have the original idea to start your open mic series?
Okay, so it actually started when I came back from Australia, and मैं यहाँ पे आया था. I came here on my vacations. I came here for 4 months, but then fortunately and unfortunately I got trapped here due to COVID, and I couldn't go back. So at home I used to make music a lot. I just used to play music on my loop pedal. I used to write a lot of stuff, and then I used to think, yaar, what's the point of doing all of this? So I hosted this open mic that had my close friends, and usme I invited Shahrukh, and I was like, yaar, Shahrukh, tum bhi aao, because he was an artist. I was always inspired by you. I was always inspired by you, and I was like, yaar, isko main bulata hu, and let's see kya cheez hoti hai. And then he came to my open mic, and then Talha Ansari, he came to my open mic. And these guys, they were like, yaar, you have to do this shit, तुम बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हो. And I was like, oh shit, मुझे नहीं पता था कि मैं इतना अच्छा कर रहा हूँ. And Shahrukh had also hosted a goon session before my open mic. So basically, two like-minded people met that day, and we were like, oh, so तुम भी ये चीज़ करो, मैं भी ये चीज़ करूँ, why not, let's do this together. And I basically wanted a platform, the same thing that Shahrukh and Sameer and these guys are working for, is basically to have a platform where artists can come, they can collab with each other. All the people, like all the models, all the actors, all the producers, even musicians, even singers, हमारा मकसद ये है कि we need to bring that platform to the public, जहाँ पे ये लोग आएं, they can work together, they can collab, and eventually do something for themselves. And basically that is what I'm trying to do as well with all my folks around here.
Which is incredible. I think first I interacted with him. There was a couple of years ago, I actually made a post where I was trying to get a collective of artists, which essentially now is happening with the company that all of us work for. But initially I just made a post where I was calling out all kinds of artists and if they wanted to collaborate and do anything. उस वक्त ये Australia में था, and it did reach out to me. And I had no sort of musical inclination at that time. So I was like, bro, मुझे music बनाना नहीं आता है. लेकिन अगर तुम music मुझे बना के भेजोगे, तो I can definitely try to put it in something. But I think we didn't talk a lot after that. 2 years
had passed.
Had 2 years into the future.
Yeah.
He just sent me a message कि आओ मेरी तरफ. I went there and I was like, man, this is the exact same vibe and the exact same things that he's saying we are trying to do on our end. तो बस वहाँ से मैंने फंसा दिया इसको. या आज आगे स्टूडियो से पता नहीं कि ये वापस नहीं जा रहा. ये गाता बहुत अच्छा है. He's an incredible rapper.
Genuinely.
And I think I don't understand why he doesn't believe it and why he doesn't put out any of that content. But we've made him promise and we will tie him down and not let him leave the studio if that's what it takes. But by the end of 2021, you will see a lot of Zaryab music.
Inshallah. Hopefully. I'll be making a lot of music. I do have like 30 songs that I have written and I never got them recorded.
ऐसे casual में only 30 songs he has written and just forgotten about, boys.
Completely forgotten about them, but now that I have these people trying to just motivate me to go ahead, I will be going to the studio, recording those songs and probably performing live because that's what I do, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I do. Like I make my music on loop pedal and the first time, like I remember the actual first time that I did my loop. It was in Australia, but us waqt that wasn't that kind of a loop, but it was the first time that I did at his rooftop on Goon Sessions Volume 2. And the crowd reaction that I got, I was absolutely blown away. And for the longest of times, I just felt like, yaar, what if these crowd, ye jo log the, they just, you know, hooted and they were like, oh, yaar, you were doing great, just to, you know, say, हाँ यार, you were good, just like a performer, कोई भी आता, you know, people clap and they go like, hey, you were good. But at your Goon Sessions, people were actually coming to me individually and they were telling me, yaar, you were so fucking good and this and that, and I was like, oh shit, ऐसा भी हुआ. And I remember मेरा वो पूरा week इतना अच्छा गया था because I was like, मेरे mind से वो चीज़ नहीं उतर पाई थी. I was like, oh shit, that I could do this, that good. And these people, they won't be talking about themselves on their podcast. I don't know why not, but Sameer Alam, a great fucking comedian. मैंने इसके और talents तो देखे नहीं. He also fucking writes rap.
Yeah.
And he needs to come into this thing. And also Shahrukh. All the Goons listeners and everyone, Shahrukh, he fucking writes rap. But इसने मुझे अभी तक सुनाई नहीं है. But I hope the audience is listening. And हमारा अब ये है कि I will be writing a beat. And उस पे we'll have 3 verses. 1 verse for Sameer, 1 verse for me, 1 verse for Shahrukh.
Cypher on that, boys.
Yeah, man, it's about to be a fucking cypher, man. Totally, one
Goes
cypher. Completely, man.
Hey, but let's talk a little bit more about Sameer and what
For
he does.
sure.
Fuck.
I think.
Why are you quitting on us, man?
Shut the fuck up, sir, and take all these compliments.
You have to, bro. You really fucking have
No,
to.
I think since I've known Sameer, I've known Sameer since my childhood, but we weren't exactly friends. Because let's talk about this.
Oh, motherfucker.
Let's talk about this.
Okay,
enjoy this.
So, Bachpan, I don't know. Should I?
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, yeah.
Bachpan mein, Huzaifa used to have his friends over all the time. And obviously these are all fucking Springfielders. So when they talk English, in middle school and whatever, in junior school, when they talk in English, they used to have an accent. And I didn't. Yeah, this is actual full story, bro. Some my insecurity, some Buzi insecurity, so it's fair. ताकि वो block भी ना कर सके story को. क्योंकि इसमें मेरी insecurity भी है, सही है? Fair enough सब. तो ये लोग मैं सिटी स्कूल का पढ़ा हूँ, ऊपर से चैप्टर, तो मेरे पास accent नहीं था. मैं बस जैसे बोल रहा था अंग्रेजी, जैसे सुनाई थी वैसे ही बोल दिया आगे. तो these guys used to pick on me, right? However, there were 2 of these people who actually liked me, and then we became such good friends that they kind of stopped, like they started hanging out with Huzaifa less, and then Huzaifa got like super stoked over this, and then he wouldn't let me come over every time he would have friends over. So I knew Sameer. We had played some cricket outside sometime. एक दिन randomly हमने wrestling भी की थी for some reason.
हमने wrestling की, ओए याद शायद
fucking won.
लेकिन size देख के बता दो.
एक suplex और खत्म.
If it was WWE, then I could say that you would have won because Rey Mysterio won from I think Big Show, man. That's
Big Show क्या थे?
You are tall, man. हो सकता है.
फिर लेकिन after a couple years, we just became internet friends, and मैंने उसी से पूछा था last time, like when I was about to approach him if he wants to work with me. He was still in London, बट मैंने इसका काम वाम देखा था बीच में ये लोग थिएटर कर रहे थे जब ये लोग दोनों लाइसियम में थे तो आई केम टू अ कपल ऑफ प्लेस आई वाज सुपर इम्प्रेस्ड तो मैंने बोला ज़फ़ा से कि मैन आई लाइक हिज वर्क एंड ही स्टार्टेड टू जस्ट अपलोड सम ऑफ हिज क्या कहते हैं ग्राफिक डिज़ाइन एक्सपेरिमेंट्स एंड आई वाज सुपर गेटिंग इनटू दैट एज वेल. So we then connected, but I swear to God, I had to ask Zaryab if he was okay with me approaching him for it.
That's the thing. Because once Shahrukh approached me, I had to ask Zaryab, listen, is it okay if I say yes?
But yeah, man, Sameer, you're talented as fuck.
Thank you.
Tell the people to follow you, man.
This is something I want to get on camera because I've never described my artistic journey on camera, but this is something that I'm doing for the first time.
यार मैं जब इसके साथ बैठा हूँ जब भी I've always got these super ideas to like do things better and the same goes for Shahrukh. ये बंदा अपनी बात नहीं करेगा. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he started off with me, then he went to Sameer and he wanted कि topic यहीं से घूम के यहीं घूमते रहे. इस पे आए नहीं ये topic. इसके ऊपर आएगा ये topic because I want people to know, I'm sure people know how talented he is and the vision that he has. I have absolutely no idea how to like go ahead. Like I know how to make music, I know how to do a lot of things, but this dude has a vision कि किस तरीके से इस चीज़ को approach करना है. मुझे नहीं आता approach करना. Like I remember the first time I met him, जब ये मेरे घर आया, that wasn't the first time that I met you. Like Bessie, after a while, right? He came to my place and जब मैंने इसको अपना I sang my song and जब मैंने इसको अपना rap सुनाया, he was the dude that I kept on looking among all the crowd that was there and I was like यार ये बंदा vibe कर रहा है. And even at the Goon sessions that you guys hosted, वहाँ पर भी I saw that Shahrukh was behind the camera and he was dancing. I was like यार he is setting the vibe of this place and I'm enjoying this. But this guy actually has a great fucking vision and people need to encourage him to rap as well because he writes it.
I am a good hype man at best. ये मैं इनको थोड़ी देर पहले ही बोल रहा था. At best, I am a good hype.
बना रही है.
नहीं.
हम भी तुम्हारे hype man बन सकते हैं though, bro. हम definitely बन सकते हैं. We are hyping him right now and he needs that hype.
अगर अगले महीने तुम लोग ने एक track देखा हम तीनों की तरफ से.
Oh shit. That will be fucking crazy.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I would love to, man.
Let's talk about some of the things that we've talked about. What we've been doing recently at length and how we came into this journey. But what are some of your inspirations? I would like to know.
So there's something that I want. Sort of, it's the previous topic and the next topic. It's back before I left for uni. There were these open mics happening, and they were all happening in defense. So there'd be venues that do it, T2F, etc. But there were then new open mics popping up where people I knew who lived in defense would do them at their home.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, harami scene. But it never truly fit my vibe, and I enjoyed them. They loved the performances, loved the vibe, everything. They great. But then the moment एक गुलशन boy और एक PSCHS boy उठे और बोले कि हम open mic कर रहे हैं, I was like, oh fuck bro, ये मेरा vibe है.
अच्छा, spoiler alert. The next one is in North Nazimabad.
Oh
Really?
fuck.
Oh, I didn't know.
Is it Personal? I think it is.
Yeah.
Tarhan Sari?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I didn't know that, boy.
Why are you
You've been
guys
hiding
doing this
this
to me
from
on
me.
camera? You know this, motherfucker.
Achha,
And you knew that.
I completely
Why are you
forgot
guys
that.
doing this to me on camera? I am not dropping these surprises. We have talked at length about this.
Man, I think I must have forgotten.
Yeah, you were pretty stressed the day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, you were pretty stressed.
I was so stressed that day when I had my open mic. Oh my god, I'll be very fucking honest, मेरी बहुत फटी हुई थी. I was like, will I be able to pull this off and कुछ हो सकेगा नहीं हो सकेगा, but Alhamdulillah I got pretty good people.
Camera cut हो गया था, हमारी memory card full हो गया.
Oh, you're never gonna believe what this guy said. Anyways, you have no idea. Oh my god. भी ना यार.
क्या करो यार, बस ऐसा हो जाता है यार, क्या कर सकते हैं.
हम लोग बात कर रहे थे
इंस्पिरेशन की यार.
कहाँ से derive करते हो तुम लोग अपनी inspiration?
Talha Yunus. No, go on, I'm kidding.
But the inspiration that I gathered from was एक बहुत funny चीज़ है that as long as I can remember, जब से मेरी बचपन से consciousness gain हुई थी, मैं 3 साल का था शायद, तब से I wanted to be a fucking musician. That's all I wanted to do, go into the art side. But people who really inspired me while growing up, I heard a lot of Junoon, I heard a lot of Noori, and then by the time 2007, 2006, Atif Aslam came, and people became crazy about Atif Aslam. And then my biggest inspiration for music perhaps has to be hip hop music. Like Eminem was the first dude that I remember. Eminem, Linkin Park. The first time I heard Eminem was through my dad. वो एक कैसेट खरीदते थे. My dad used to buy this cassette. बचपन में we used to go in our car. तो वो एक कैसेट खरीदते थे जिसमें सारे ये songs होते थे. तो उसमें एक आध गाने Eminem के थे. Without Me was there. Lose Yourself was there. The Real Slim Shady was there. And I heard these songs when I was about like 5 years old. 2002, 2003 की बात है. And I instantly got hooked. उस time से मुझे याद है that was the first time I heard Eminem. फिर I started listening to music, and then Pink Floyd came. Then I got really interested in psychedelic music, and that really opened up my realm completely. The first time that I actually wanted to start making my own music was back in 2016 when I learned how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
And उसके बाद से फिर I heard this singer called Tash Sultana. I don't know if people have heard her, but she's a musician. She was a busker in Melbourne. She used to perform on the streets. I saw her performing on the streets, like legit. And एक साल के बाद she was touring California.
Damn.
And she became famous. I was like, what the fuck did she do? And I heard her songs and I was like blown away. And then I bought my own loop pedal, tried to copy somewhat Tash Sultana shuru mein. But then I always thought that I couldn't write rap for the longest of times. But then when I started, I actually felt like, okay, some things are rhyming up, things are falling at the same level. I would write about my own stories, and I've had some really crazy psychedelic experiences that I like to talk about in my songs, and that's why कुछ गाने जो हैं मेरे, they're gonna have them in time. जब भी मैं record करूँगा अपने 30 गाने जो मेरे हैं, that I'm gonna do them in a while. But that's how I get my inspiration. But my inspiration completely died. Like last year, my inspiration was completely dead. I had nothing till I met these guys, and Tala I met the Cactus team. And I kid you not, that was where I was like, no Zaryab, अब तो रुकना ही नहीं है. Because I was like, यार पाकिस्तान में artists, like अगर if they need to be big, they at the age of 22, 23, जो जिस age का मैं हूँ, they're already big. Like I was looking at Asim Azhar, I was like, यार ये लोग तो कर चुके हैं, बचपन से शुरू किया था, अब मैं शुरू करूँगा, I'm not gonna do it. But then I saw other artists, they're still doing it and they're growing, and then I saw these guys and I was like, यार ये these guys are not even stopping. एक second के लिए इनके दिमाग में कोई negativity नहीं आती, and they just wanna go ahead and they wanna do it, and that's the energy that I need. That's why surround yourself with positive people, cut toxic people out of your life, guys. That is very fucking important, because that's what I did, and that's why I wanna serious. और ये बात थोड़ी होनी नहीं चाहिए, but बकचोदिया करना चाह रहा हूँ, but
good stuff.
Yeah, that's really fucking important. And
Fuck Zaryab.
I will fuck Zaryab. Fuck you, Zaryab. No man, that's my brother. I love him. I love him a lot. He was my he is amazing. In fact, Zaryab, अगर तुम सुन रहे हो ना चूतिए, तुम्हें भी music में आना पड़ेगा, because you are also an amazing musician, and Zaryab also writes raps, but he doesn't like to get in the spotlight.
I've actually had a couple of conversations with Zaryab, where we'll sort of circle to it. Something interesting that you said about positivity and how you cut off toxicity. I think this is, and while I'm saying it as a joke, I think it's also pretty true. This is one thing that we haven't yet faced, because क्योंकि हमारे इतने ज़्यादा खास अभी followers नहीं हैं, तो हमने अभी तक haters भी नहीं आए. But I can honestly anticipate the kind of comments that we will get, like that start from the range of burger and they end from the range of burger, and बीच में उसमें वो सारी गालियाँ होंगी जो कि you can imagine. But yeah, I think it's important to not look at that or not think about that. This is something that I struggle with in my other podcast, which is literally filled with disclaimers here and there. Every time I'm trying to talk about a particular thing जिसको लेके आवाम ज़्यादा टची है, उसको आप अपने खुले अल्फाजों में तो बयान कर ही नहीं सकते. That's, I think some of that is going to happen with this podcast as well. You are sure कुछ ऐसी बातें हैं जो कि आज यहाँ पे बहुत फिटिंग होती हैं, हम उनके बारे में बात करते हैं, लेकिन हम नहीं कर रहे हैं उसकी कोई वजह.
I know that, and constructive criticism is always welcome.
But it's the last thing that will come on your comments
definitely.
box. Honestly, it is the last thing that will come. I see a lot of hate. Any art form, any expression that there is, right? Journalist से लेके अगर कोई sketch artist है, अगर कोई cartoons बनाता है, अगर कोई music बना रहा है, अगर आज कोई film बना रहा है, सबको वही मिल रहा है. And this kind of circles back to the question that we started with कि आपकी inspiration क्या है. I've always been a little bit inclined when it comes to the art side because my entire family is filled with artists and like उन्होंने encourage किया है हमेशा बचपन से कि find an artistic inclination and whatever it takes perfect it like whatever resources. Alhamdulillah, I come from a privileged family, so they've always sort of enabled me to do that. I haven't had that artist struggle कि मुझे मनाना पड़े घर में. लेकिन the first art piece या art form that I felt personally कि oh this is something that can be mine because we have calligraphists, we have painters, we have fine artists, we have क्या कहते हैं stitching भी कर लेते हैं, embroidery. So like this was the first thing that I felt like I could do because I have terrible hand-eye contact. Like मेरा जो हाथ चलता है ना वो बहुत बुरा चलता है. I have a terrible handwriting. I'm terrible at drawing. I'm terrible at painting. Even though some of the people I know like it, I disagree with it. खैर क्या बात कर रहा था?
Inspiration की बात हो रही थी. Family.
The first thing that I thought that I could say that this is kind of what I wanted to do was when I saw Irfan Junejo and I saw him do his YouTube and I was in Australia. I was a bit not a bit. I was quite fucking depressed. And I think उसकी 7th या 8th वीडियो थी अभी. He was like 230, 240 इस तरह की views जिस पे अभी हम अटके हैं, which is why I am also fine. I was like ठीक है, he now hits 70 anytime he wants to, अपना भी हो जाएगा. But this is something that actually scares me more. The kind of exit Irfan Junejo had from his fame or had from his position at the top of YouTube was quite dramatic. And जिस तरह से आवाम ने उसको डील किया ना, I fucking hate it. I honestly
hate it too, man.
Like he made a video called I Quit and he fucking said what he quit. Like उसमें उसने बोला है if you're watching the video वो कह रहा है कि मैं YouTube quit नहीं कर रहा, मैं vlogging quit कर रहा हूँ, मैं दूसरा चैनल बना के वहाँ पे दूसरी बच्चोतियाँ कर लूँगा. And every time he now comes on YouTube, people are like
people make fun
of it. रो रहा है. Like उसकी feeling is like obviously man, चोत like what the fuck do you mean? If you are a person who has achieved something and you, like it's very easy to look. Man, I'm speaking this from a personal like perspective as well. जब बहुत ज़्यादा लोग आपकी तारीफ करते हैं ना, from the first comment is something very special to you, the second, the third and the fifth comment is something very special to you, the sixth comment you will care less about because you've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Every single hate comment will hit you the same.
Yeah.
Because it will. Because it's honestly peeking up at some of your insecurity. It's talking about something that you've put in your time, you've put in your energy, you've put in your skill, and you've probably put in a fuck ton of money into it. And उसके बाद अगर the first thing that you're hearing or one of the things that you're hearing is very evidently all caps में mother चोद तेरे पास internet है तो कुछ भी डालेगा. It kind of really fucking hurts.
And the worst thing about this thing is that artists are the people who bring other artists down, and that is something that I cannot even comprehend. Like I saw this video of a kid who was singing a song and people started making fun of him so bad that I was just like yaar agar koi banda aata bhi hai in the music industry and if he likes to put out music and the first thing that he sees is that 4,000 likes में से उसके 3,500 laugh reacts हैं उस dude के और उसके नीचे comments गालियों से भरे हुए and like constant bullying.
ये जिसने अभी वो कहना चाहूँ
हाँ वो जो गया था I don't know who that dude is but
वजाद रोह को बेटा ये if you guys see or watch YouTube उसमें जो voice over man है that character
अच्छा I don't know who वजाद इसका नाम क्या था
आशिर वजाद
अच्छा I don't know who
but okay उसने कुछ 3-4 गाने स्टूडियो रिकॉर्ड कर डाले I like them. I personally don't listen to a lot of pop music, so I don't personally enjoy that vibe. But he's okay, like,
but
it's
I don't
as
think,
good as a pop
yeah,
song
man,
is.
like nobody
it was
should.
Fine, like you didn't need to.
If you don't like it, you can just go, man.
Yeah.
Just like
I agree.
Constructive criticism is good, but I don't think bullying someone to that extent is good. People don't understand. Cyberbullying is fucking real, man. Like. It actually can affect a lot of people and फिर वो रुक सकते हैं they probably किसी का dream इस तरह ख़त्म हो सकता है you know start होते ही ख़त्म हो जाए and that's what I discourage people कि इस तरह ना करें कि अगर जो artist होते हैं just help them you know as much as you can just do something for them like as a starting artist myself these dudes were the first people who were like no you have to do it that's how I started believing in myself and I think that is very important जिस सोसाइटी में हम रह रहे हैं बिकॉज यहाँ पे आर्ट को वैसे ही फेवर नहीं किया जाता एंड वी आर लाइक द रिबेलियस पीपल इन दिस थिंग बिकॉज हम लोग के ओपन माइक में सब चल रहा होता है लाइक गालियाँ वालियाँ सब चल रही होती है हमारे लाइक पेरेंट्स के लिए नहीं है ये बट लाइक कि उस मामले के हिसाब से वी आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रिंग इन समथिंग न्यू बट जस्ट अप्रिशिएट आर्ट मैन दिस वर्ल्ड वाज मेड फॉर इट दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक
Yeah, I feel like as human beings, your natural inclination is to create something. No?
Yeah, for sure.
You have the ability for art.
For sure.
Let's talk about what you create. Is it a certain something that you are
So.
fashioning right now?
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen, buy my man's fucking merch.
When it comes out.
It hasn't come out yet, but it's called Kinara, and this is the start of the fucking hype train.
Yeah, it's ready for pre-order. अगर किसी को चाहिए वो मुझे बताए so that I can tell him कि orders आ रहे हैं.
Yeah.
I love the design though.
Like?
मतलब पता चल रहा है लेकिन
आगे जा
Oh yeah.
जाओ कैमरे में दिखाओ.
For all the audio listeners, I am away from you.
All the audio listeners, he is moving towards the camera. Also, I would like to say to all the audio listeners that like me, this motherfucker also looked towards the phone and got near it while trying to talk to the audio listeners. So it is a psychological thing, and it makes sense because we are doing a podcast and because it feels like it's like kind of like a radio show for all the world. So I try to lean into a fucking mic, which is not there, but that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Fucking live with it.
Sure. But yeah, as you talk about inspirations, and as a kid, I was really into music. I was really into Linkin Park specifically.
As a kid?
Yeah, as like a 6-7-year-old.
Are you okay?
I was a weird 6-7-year-old. Like I would vibe to Linkin Park all day, all night. Like I would go home, I would go to my cousin's house, listen to Linkin Park, go home, listen to Linkin Park.
Same, bro.
Pushing me away and in the end. Numb to late game.
Numb to है.
Numb late game था.
Jay-Z
इसकी एक album थी 1000 Suns. That fucked me over. I was like, oh shit, क्या album है ये? 2010 या 9 में I think I was like, oh my god, क्या album है यार? Holy shit.
Yeah, bro. So I would like sit. So I would like I was really inspired to do music, but I wasn't naturally very musically inclinated. So I would like sit on the toilet, sit on the not bathroom, and I would like fucking just make beats in my head, right through my mouth. This is when I started beatboxing. I would just like have extra spit in my mouth and go like, and then I would start making beats, and I would like do weird ass shit with my mouth, and I would be like, fuck, this sounds around me. But yeah, so I was originally into music, but then I started watching like TV shows and films. I was like, fuck, even this is around me. And I fell in love with films, I fell in love with acting, I fell in love with just films all over in general. And then I grew up, and then I was going to a very sciencey route. I was like, taking all sciences, I was just getting all A's. And then I...
Elite. A's maybe.
Springfielders. And then I was going to go into law. And somewhere along in my levels, I realized, okay, I will just be unhappy my whole life. I should do law. And I was like, fuck, bro, no. What I really want to learn is film and theater. And then I somehow found this perfect degree called theater and film.
It's pretty much the same trajectory minus all the good music that you were listening to because जैसे तुम लोग ने बोला जब तुम गाने तुम लोग बचपन में सुन रहे थे ये मैं सब अभी तक इन पे कैच अप कर रहा हूँ like most of the times when you all are talking about this even hip hop I'm such a huge fan but whenever you guys are talking about all this I'm like हाँ ये तो अभी मेरी लिस्ट में है अभी तो पता नहीं कितना आ रहा है boys मैं बचपन में बॉलीवुड देख रहा था यार
there were two types of kids.
देखो मैं भी देखता था लोग I also used to watch Bollywood पे तो बड़े हुए हैं यार मैं but side by side ये चलता रहा I loved Bollywood when I was a kid but बचपन में I still heard a lot of like these rappers and
nothing against Bollywood music in general but I think the kind of subscription that I have with content now I think I enjoy it better and I wish I was doing all of this since the beginning.
I also wish you guys started earlier. Because right now I'm at sort of place where Zaryab was about 4-5 years ago. Since I have recently acquired a guitar that I am wanting to learn on, and I am then going to start learning from it. And then I also want to take vocal lessons where I learn how to sing, and then I'm going to start a musical journey.
Talented as fuck people.
Huzaifa ने piano दोबारा बजाना शुरू कर दिया as you have seen in the previous podcast or the one before that. I started learning the uke at start of the pandemic.
Damn.
I think where this is all going is 2 years down the lane, we have fucking boy band.
Oh yeah. No direction.
Like around
no direction.
Old stunners.
Oh my god.
Good stuff. Acha boys, it's been a lovely time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's wrap this up for today. Zaryab is hopefully a regular feature
Yep.
in our podcast. If not in our podcast, generally in our content. If not from Cactus, then from Goonj.
For
if
sure.
not from Goonj, then from his rooftop. There's just a lot of content from a lot of avenues. Make sure to subscribe, follow, hit the bell icon for all of them.
And keep an eye out for Goon sessions.
Comment! Sorry.
Definitely.
Keep an eye out for
Goon
Goon sessions and Zaryab. I don't know what's it called.
Man, my sessions can be the Goon sessions. I don't mind, man. I swear to God.
Goon sessions,
Ex
Wilson
Zaryab.
chapter.
Oh, Wilson chapter.
Yeah, that
Chalo,
sounds
bro.
good, man.
Done.
Thank you guys for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Mom, I hope you liked it.
You keep talking about your mom.
Yeah, because my mom is definitely gonna see this. She knows that I was it. My mom's fine with it.
अच्छा फिर से.
Yeah, my mom. मम्मा को पता है ना.
That's cool.
Sago auntie, Sago Zaryab की मम्मी.
Sorry, and मैं actually में गाली नहीं देता हूँ.
उनको
I'm
पता है
sorry,
सब
मैं
देते.
character में था.
Oh my God.
I'm actually a good boy.
I'm also a good boy.
Yeah. We're all good boys.
We are all good boys.
On that awkward note, let's end this off.
Thank you so much, guys. See ya.
Are you cat?
No.
Cat.